The man in the faded work jacket pushed his mop across the cracked tile at 2 a.m. Nobody looked twice at him. Not the exhausted cashier fumbling with her broken register. Not the night manager counting money in the back office. Not the security guard scrolling through his phone by the entrance. Marcus Thompson had built an empire from his father's corner store. But tonight, he wasn't a billionaire CEO. Tonight, he was Mike, the new janitor at Thompson's Fresh Market's flagship location in Atlanta. And what he was about to discover would destroy everything he thought he knew about his own company. The cashier's arm caught his attention first. Sarah Chen, her name tag read. 20-something dark circles carved deep beneath her eyes. Her left arm hung in a makeshift sling, torn fabric from a Thompson's promotional shirt. Every time she reached for items to scan, her face twisted in pain she tried desperately to hide. Beneath her register, barely concealed by a crumpled napkin, sat half a sandwich. Brown bread, no filling visible. Marcus watched her work through 3 customers without taking a single bite. "Sir, I can ring you up at Register 1, she said when he approached with a bottle of water. "This drawer's been acting up for weeks." Her voice was steady but hollow. Professional autopilot masking something darker. As she counted his change with her good arm, her sleeve rode up. Bruises, fresh ones layered over older yellow-green marks. The schedule card peeking from her pocket showed yesterday's closing shift at 11 p.m., today's opening shift at 5 a.m., 6 hours between. Not enough time to sleep, heal, or escape. Marcus left without his change. Outside in his truck, he sat trembling with rage. 3 weeks ago, corporate had received glowing reports about this location. Perfect safety scores, minimal turnover. Regional manager Derek Walsh had just nominated it for another Excellence Award. But the woman forcing smiles through obvious agony told a completely different story. If this was happening in his flagship store, under his own name, what else had they been hiding? Marcus pulled out his phone and made a decision that would change everything. He wasn't going home tonight. He was going back inside as someone completely different. The transformation took 2 hours in a Walmart parking lot. Designer watch into the glove box. Manicured nails clipped short, dirt rubbed beneath them. The cheap work boots screamed against his feet. But his father had worn boots like these. Had limped home every night in boots like these until the day faulty warehouse equipment crushed him and he never came home at all. Marcus laced them tight. His father's last words echoed in his memory. "Take care of your people, son. They'll take care of business." 47 stores and 6,000 employees later, Marcus had forgotten how to listen to that voice. Tonight, he would remember. The night shift manager barely glanced at his forged application. "You start now. Mop the floors, clean the bathrooms, don't touch the registers." No training, no safety briefing. Just a broken mop bucket with squeaking wheels and a warning from Jimmy, the veteran janitor. "Don't clean too good. Makes day shift look bad." Jimmy was 60-something, weathered hands and knowing eyes. He showed Marcus which corners had actual supplies and which got the water-only treatment. "See those cameras?" Jimmy pointed at the security system. "Half are fake. Other half don't work. But that one near the office, that's Derek's personal setup. Records everything near the time clock." Marcus kept his head down as they passed. The employee area was a crime scene of labor violations. Time cards showed corrections in red pen, always reducing hours, never adding them. 7 employees had exactly 29.5 hours that week, just under the full-time threshold for benefits. The official injury log was pristine, empty, perfect. But behind it, stuffed in a folder marked supplies, Marcus found the real one. Dates, names, incidents that never made it to corporate. Sarah Chen's name appeared 3 times in 2 months. Cut hand on broken shelf. Back strain from lifting. Shoulder injury fell carrying boxes. The latest entry was blank except for today's date and a question mark. Around midnight, Marcus discovered the first layer of rot. The loading dock crew worked without safety equipment, hauling freight that required 2 people by themselves. The walk-in freezer door wouldn't lock properly. Employees propped it open with a broken pallet to avoid getting trapped inside. Chemical storage violated every OSHA regulation he knew. Bleach stored directly next to ammonia. No ventilation, no warning signs. It's just a handwritten note that said, "Be careful." The emergency exits told their own story. 3 out of 4 blocked by inventory pallets. The 4th had a broken push bar covered with duct tape and a sign that read, "Use other door." "Why do you stay?" Marcus asked Tommy, a kid maybe 19, struggling alone with boxes clearly marked Team Lift required. The boy didn't even look up. "Mom's diabetic. Need the insurance." He showed Marcus a pay stub that made his stomach turn. Deductions he'd never authorized. Uniform cleaning fee for clothes they washed themselves. Equipment rental for using the hand truck. Training cost recovery for a food safety video from 1987. Tommy's take-home pay for 40 hours was $247. "I'm one of the lucky ones," Tommy said quietly. "I get almost 30 hours most weeks." The break room was worse than Marcus imagined. 1 plastic chair for a staff of 127. A refrigerator with an out-of-order sign dated 2 months prior. The microwave was missing its door. Someone had left a note. "Please fix. We can't afford to eat out." The time clock showed impossible patterns. Employees clocking out at 11 p.m. and back in at 5 a.m., some shifts running 14 hours straight. The schedule board was chaos incarnate. Different colored pens marking corrections, arrows pointing to switched shifts, names crossed out and rewritten in increasingly desperate handwriting. At 2 a.m., the revelation came. Marcus was emptying trash near the loading dock when he heard voices. Derek Walsh and another man loading boxes into a personal vehicle. Thompson's Fresh Markets inventory, premium cuts of meat, organic produce. "Top shelf liquor. Security footage won't show anything," Derek said, laughing. "Camera angles, perfect. Corporate just sees it as shrinkage." "Normal loss?" the other man grunted, lifting another box. "How much this week?" "About $2,000. It's a restaurant on 5th pays cash, no questions." Marcus photographed everything from behind a dumpster. His hands shook so badly he almost dropped his phone. This wasn't just negligence or incompetence. This was systematic, calculated theft and abuse. Derek Walsh wasn't just a bad manager. He was running a criminal enterprise, using Marcus's employees as cover and Marcus's reputation as a shield. The question that burned through his mind was simple and terrible. How many others? How many regional managers were doing exactly the same thing? How many Derek Walshes had he trusted while they destroyed lives for profit? Thursday morning, Marcus sat in his car until dawn. He documented everything. Wage theft, safety violations, stolen inventory, denied injury claims. But documentation wasn't enough. He needed to understand the system that allowed this, needed to see how deep the infection had spread. Patricia Williams, his chief legal officer, had warned him. 3 weeks maximum. Then we pull you out, but 3 weeks might not be enough. The rot had years to spread. It would take time to map its full extent. He thought about Sarah Chen, working with a broken shoulder because she couldn't afford to stop. About Tommy surrendering 40 hours for $200 because his mother needed insulin. About Jimmy, who'd spent 30 years watching this place deteriorate and believing nobody cared enough to fix it. Marcus's father had built Thompson's Fresh Markets on a simple principle: treat people like family. Somewhere between 1 store and 47, between corner market and corporate empire, Marcus had let that principle become a marketing slogan instead of a mandate. Tonight, that changed. Week 2 went deeper into the nightmare. Marcus arrived Monday to find the night crew buzzing with nervous energy. Someone had reported the safety violations to OSHA anonymously. Derek's response was swift and vicious. Everyone's hours got cut. Overnight shift restructured to skeleton crew. Jimmy got demoted from supervisor to basic janitor, a $3 hourly pay cut. Collective punishment, Rosa whispered during break. She was the night cashier, wrists wrapped in dirty ace bandages from 4 years of repetitive scanning. Military tactic. Turn us against each other, so we stop fighting them. But something unexpected happened. Instead of breaking them, Derek's retaliation unified the workers. Employees started sharing rides to save gas, bringing extra lunches for those who couldn't afford food, creating a private Facebook group to document abuses and share survival strategies. Marcus watched a community form in real time, built not on corporate team-building exercises, but on shared suffering and mutual protection. These people were already fighting back. They just needed someone with power to fight alongside them. Wednesday night, Marcus found Derek's trash. Performance reviews, injury reports, time cards originals, and doctored versions. Trophies of cruelty. The smoking gun was an email chain. Derek and Nathan plotting Q for labor savings. Offshore bonuses, $3.2 million in employee theft, $1.8 million in workers' comp fraud. Sarah was targeted, assigned heavy lifting until she quits or gets hurt. Marcus photographed everything, uploaded backups, legal promised protection, but it wouldn't undo the harm. Friday, he found Maria, 7 months pregnant, bleeding, working through contractions for overtime. Marcus drove her to the hospital. Baby fine. Maria had been pushed to exhaustion, dehydration, and untreated infectional for profit. When Marcus returned for his next shift, word had spread. Mike the janitor was different. He'd helped Maria without asking anything in return, paid her hospital bills outright. Trust shifted. Employees started really talking. Derek's sexual harassment, always verbal, never witnessed. A diabetic worker forced through insulin shock. A pregnant woman fired for performance issues days after announcing. "We tried organizing once," Samuel told him. Arthritis twisted every movement as he worked the deli. Derek found out. "I suddenly got tips about documentation." Organizers vanished. The rest of us learned the lesson. By week 2, Marcus had enough to bury Derek Walsh and Nathan Hartley. Fraud, wage theft, unsafe conditions. What haunted him was simpler, how his own systems had failed. Oversight, audits, complaint channels, all corrupted. The distance between executives and the floor had become a canyon where exploitation thrived unnoticed. Saturday night, Rosa cornered him. "You're not really a janitor." Her gaze was sharp. "You're investigating." Marcus didn't deny it. She showed him a contact. "My cousin's at corporate. Says the VP of HR brags about his arrangement with regional managers." Nathan Hartley. The betrayal cut deeper than Derek's crimes. Marcus had hired Nathan. He's trusted him with employee welfare. Sunday morning, Jimmy waited by his truck. "Whoever you are, help us. People are breaking. Sarah's talking about suicide." Marcus promised change, though the words felt thin. Week 3 began with a text. Nathan Hartley bought a $750,000 beach house. Cash. His salary was $200,000. The math was obvious. With Derek in Vegas, Marcus accessed his office. 3 years of conspiracy sat neatly labeled shell companies, offshore accounts, phantom employees. 43 fake workers siphoned insurance money while real claims were denied. Then tragedy struck. Rosa ran in sobbing. Sarah overdosed. She live-streamed it. Marcus watched the goodbye, called 911, then did something reckless. He called Nathan Hartley, put it on speaker, and hit record. "Derek, it's 2 a.m. Nathan slurred. "Chen tried to kill herself. Live-streamed it. Mentioned the company." Marcus snapped awake. "How many saw it?" "Enough." Marcus growled in Derek's voice. "What's our play?" Nathan's reply was cold, precise. "Disgruntled employee, leak her file. Make her look unstable. She mentioned the injury claims. All of it. A pause. Then Nathan, quieter, chilling. Dead employees can't sue. Marcus probed. And our arrangement. Nathan laughed. Solid tragedy deflects investigations. We push mental health initiatives while cutting site coverage. Senator Morrison's committee kills any federal probe. Beach House first. 5 years, then Caymans. Your dad would be proud. Marcus froze. His father, dead from corporate negligence, praised as inspiration for cruelty. Nathan sneered. Marcus. Too busy playing CEO to notice us robbing him blind. By the time he sees, we're gone. Thompson's legacy destroyed. Maybe even short the stock. Marcus ended the call, saved the recording. Enough evidence for federal prison, conspiracy, fraud, attempted murder. RICO, insider trading. His phone buzzed. Patricia, Sarah was stable. Dawn broke as he exited Derek's office. Employees crowded, phones in hand, watching Sarah's video. Jimmy watched sunrise. It's time, Marcus whispered. Thursday, emergency meeting. Thursday came like judgment. Derek, fresh from Vegas, entered at 9. Pa crackled. Emergency, all hands. Main floor. Now. Derek froze. Marcus, in janitor uniform, stood upright. Some know me as Mike, he began. I mopped your floors. Listened for 3 weeks. My real name, Marcus Thompson. I own this company. Gasps. Derek surged forward. Inappropriate protocol. Shut up. Marcus connected his laptop, projecting evidence. Time card manipulations, injury report rewrites, phantom employee scheme. Every week, Derek stole 6 hours per employee. That's $15,000 monthly, Marcus said. Next, Sarah's medical info sold for $500. Sarah entered, wheelchair-bound. He tried to kill me. With policies, I almost let him win. But I'm still here. Marcus played Nathan's call. Dead employees can't sue. Police entered. Marcus displayed the phantom employee fraud. Derek's security cameras looped. Everything was recorded. Nathan's panicked voice blasted through PA. Abort, FBI. Marcus smiled. We have everything. Offshore accounts, shell companies, 3 years of crime. Senator Morrison flipped. Derek bolted. Jimmy tripped him. You're all fired, Derek screamed. No, Marcus said. You are. Police hauled Derek away. Marcus faced the employees. You suffered because I trusted the wrong people. That changes now. Sarah wheeled forward. We've heard it before. Patricia, execute transfers, Marcus said. Every stolen hour, with interest. Check your banking apps. Gasps turned to tears. Jimmy stared. $43,000. Marcus promised full medical coverage, retroactive. Safety violations, fixed. Rosa asked, the catch? You helped me fix this. Every store. Now help me make it right. Marcus pulled off the janitor uniform, revealing a Thompson's Fresh Markets t-shirt underneath. My father built this company on one principle. Take care of your people. They'll take care of business. I forgot that. You reminded me. The crowd erupted. Cheering, crying, embracing. 3 weeks of Mike, the janitor, had taught Marcus more than 5 years in the executive suite. Within the hour, contractors swarmed the store. Broken equipment replaced. Safety violations corrected. The blocked emergency exits cleared. Alarms tested for the first time in years. Marcus called an emergency board meeting from the store floor. All regional managers suspended pending investigation. Employees will elect their own management councils. 50% of operational decisions now require employee approval. You can't just, a board member began. I own 52%. I can and will. Objections? Resign now. Sarah raised her hand. What about protection? Derek has friends. Patricia Williams stepped forward. federal whistleblower protection. Any retaliation prosecuted. Plus, a $5 million legal fund for employee advocacy. She handed out documents. Jimmy squinted. Voting seats on the safety committee? Real votes. 3 employees for every management rep, Patricia confirmed. Safety decisions override profit. Enshrined in bylaws. Only removable with 75% employee approval. Tommy asked, wages? Marcus presented, minimum wage $18 hour, 30-hour benefits guaranteed. Overtime optional at double rate, 10% profit sharing. How afford someone called. Cut executive bonuses 90%. My salary drops from $8 million to $800,000. Funds employee programs. Dr. Angela Martinez evaluated Sarah's shoulder. Immediate surgery, rehab, expenses covered. Full mobility restored. Tears flowed. Marcus continued. Every store gets a 5-member employee council controlling 25% of budgets. Veto on schedules, safety unavertible. First election, Jimmy as safety rep, Rosa as scheduling coordinator. They fired the complicit manager. Maria, the deli worker, accepted leadership with council support. Live streams sparked national attention. Employees at 12 stores walked out. Derek and Nathan's corruption was nationwide. Marcus ordered full cooperation. The store transformed not from fear, but ownership. Marcus called the council. I'm appointing a chief employee advocate, C-suite salary, someone who knows the ground level. He turned to Jimmy, interested. The janitor's mop clattered. You're serious? Dead serious. Patricia handles corporate. You handle people. Jimmy accepted. The store cheered. Marcus raised his hand. This isn't victory. It's the start. 46 stores to fix. Thousands of employees to make whole. 3 months later, transformation was visible. Sarah Chen recovered, adjusted a new ergonomic scanner. Badge. Safety coordinator. Tommy trained new cashiers, tuition paid by Thompson's fund. Jimmy, now in a suit, kept a janitor shift weekly, accessible to all. Maria, 7 months pregnant, had proper hours. Sales rose 18% from empowerment, not exploitation. The employee council met Mondays at 6 a.m., paid time. Today, planning a real appreciation day. Invite Marcus, Sarah said, not CEO. As Mike, let him mop. Laughter, unanimous vote. Marcus visited monthly, starting with the floor, listening without title barriers. Small victories. Rosa's son doing homework in the break room. Employees freely approaching management. 1 year later, Thompson's Fresh Markets lived its promise. Derek Walsh and Nathan Hartley imprisoned, exposing retail exploitation. Congress passed the Retail Workers Protection (ACSRA's) law. Former janitors became executives. Former victims became voices. At a conference, Sarah said, treat workers as humans. They'll build your empire. Marcus, in his father's store-turned-training center, showed the Thompson Workers Voice app, anonymous. Direct to CEO, but courage matters more. Work a real shift. Listen, document. Feel, Sarah added, shop where workers thrive. Your dollars are votes. The screen showed fair schedules, fair wages, fair treatment. Revolutions start with a janitor's mop, a CEO's conscience, and the idea that workers are people. Your workplace is next. Speak up. Listen. Change begins today.